Hello, welcome back to Blunder Dungeon, the podcast where we play Dungeons and Dragons kind of on the side and riff about other things for the most part.
Yeah, that's a good description. We gotta talk about other stuff, and then like sometimes we bring it back.
We barely progress the plot.
Yeah.
Every 6 episodes.
Yeah. We usually stay in the same room for about 3 or 4 episodes, and then
We have a Nacros episode and they progress it.
Sometimes we don't even need another map. Sometimes it's a one mapper.
actually last episode was the first ever one mapper, I think.
This is episode 1 of Ashes of Kaldyr, our new campaign.
Episode Fun
Ashes.
Episode Funyon. Are we going to get copyrighted?
by Wanyan.
Probably.
We don't know how it's spelled.
This is the other campaign, not main campaign, not Chanam Wants You, but somewhere in between Chanam Wants You and Roleplay Royale.
Yeah.
Some would say
Somewhere in there.
it's more than nothing, less than something.
It's like they're all like round, they're like different planes of existence. Roleplay Royale is kind of hell, and then everything else outside of Roleplay Royale is heaven.
So here we are in heaven, session 1 of Ashes of Kaldyr. Do I just jump right in?
Well, we should probably introduce ourselves.
Oh, see, this is first time DM mistakes. I am David, and I am the DM for this campaign. And I'm joined by Cameron.
That's me. I'm Cameron, and I won't say who my character is yet.
And I'm also joined here by Paris.
Hello, I'm Paris.
And I'm also joined here by Austin.
Thank you, David Master.
Yeah, David Master. And shout out to, it's sad to bring this up, but Woolsey and Paris have separated. That's why they're in
It's
two
true.
We
different,
are. Yeah.
2 different videos.
I'm in a hotel.
Yeah. And Paris is in the room next door, the hotel room next door.
The room where it happened.
Is that the name of this episode?
That is from Hamilton, no?
Mm-hmm.
The
Right.
room where it happened? Oh,
Is that
like
a song? Yeah.
they signed the Declaration of Independence.
I assume so. No.
No.
They debated.
They debated killing Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
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 Wait, so the room where it happened is just where they debated about the Constitution? That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Right?
It was about,
I want
I don't know enough to confidently
The
say.
room, it should be called like the room where they talked about it happening.
True. No, Woolsey, I think you should continue because I'm a fan of speaking confidently about things I don't know enough about.
It's where I just
You ever
know
heard of
that
hot
the
takes, high stakes?
Southerners, the Democratic Republicans, got to move the capital from New York to Washington, D.C. And then for some reason, it was a federal banking system.
Yes.
That was the trade.
This is coming back to me.
Okay,
from
history
my-
nerd.
I've watched Hamilton and Scamilton.
That takes us right into
Yeah,
obviously. For those who didn't watch Session 0 or just want a nice refresher, here's our beautiful map.
Check it out.
Stunning. Map stuns.
Everything. It's giving, it's slaying, it's snatched.
But it's not like Oscar's red carpet Ozempic level. It's like healthy snatched, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like people are asking where the waist is, but it's like a natural look.
Right. It's clothed well, so it's like, you know, in stylish clothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it fits. Their clothes fit.
And I don't know if this will be an every time thing, but I thought it might be interesting. A little snapshot of where we're starting at.
Paris has never seen this one before.
never.
The Wingate Inn.
I'm not there. I'm in a different continent.
Oh,
I'm actually on the top of
Surprise.
Mount Volterran.
Welcome
the
to
ocean.
DMing, David Master.
I sent you all the wrong directions. All right. So the scene is a cold and rainy night in Wingate, and we begin at the Wingate Inn.
Cozy.
So I'm going to have everybody just join or enter one by one. So I'll start with Cameron because that's what I had in my head. Cameron enters the Wingate Inn. It's a somewhat lively scene. There are conversations happening between a group of friends at the bar, a crackling fire, the bartender looking, fairly content with the evening business. But there are a group of Valdric soldiers as well, sitting kind of grouped together on the side. So Cameron, you make your way over and you are greeted Hi there. I'm Marta Flint, and you've made your way to the Wingate Inn. Whether you're weary from a day of travel or worn from a day of work, we have what you need. What brings you here, friend?
I kind of scan the room a little bit. I look kind of back at the soldiers at the tables, kind of annoyed. Look back at the bartender, and I kind of squeeze up to the bar a little bit, and I whisper to the bartender, kind of trying to make it so that nobody hears me. I say, do you know how long those soldiers have been here, or if they're gonna leave?
You know, they stopped in maybe an hour ago. I'm kind of with you. We're never the biggest fans of having their presence here, but you know, business is business at the end of the day. But you know, they keep ordering rounds, so I'm not sure they're leaving anytime soon.
Fuck. Okay. I do another scan. Are there any, besides the people sitting at the bar and the soldiers and that person sitting at the fire, is there anyone else like at the tables?
No. And she says, we're a bit wary of strangers here, especially with, the Valdric presence. I'd suggest you make your way to your own table, and I'll be with you shortly.
Okay. And I walk over to one of the tables.
You do clock this guy is facing away, like towards the fire, hooded figure, just kind of sipping on his own drink. Doesn't acknowledge you at all, just sitting there.
So yeah, I'll, instead of going to the table, I'm gonna walk over and just take a seat next to this guy who's sitting by the fire. I pull the lyre off my back and kind of like lean back on the chair and look over to him. And I say in a noticeably different voice than I talk to the bartender with, I say, hello, friend. Can I offer you a song?
I'll take a good tune if you have one. Next we have Paris walks in and makes her way over. Anything you're kind of saying, doing, thinking as you enter?
I'll go up to the first person I see and say, hi.
Oh, hello there.
What's your name?
My name is Bardom. What's yours?
Bardoma. My name's Elara.
Elara.
I promise.
It's a very nice name.
Thank you. Where are you from, Bardom?
Oh, I'm Wingate, born and bred.
Oh, wow. Well, would you like to be my friend?
Oh, no.
Really?
I got all the friends. I got all the friends I need for tonight. But if our paths were to cross again,
But I don't.
let's see where the night takes us. Why don't you grab a drink and let's enjoy the evening?
Okay.
And then that kind of cues. Hi there. I'm Marta Flint, and you've made your way to the Wingate Inn. Whether you're
Hi,
weary
Marta.
from a day of travel or worn from a day of work, we have what you need. What brings you here, friend?
Oh, friends.
Of course, if you've got coin and an empty stomach, you're a friend.
Can I buy a drink?
Of course, we've got mead, we've got ale, we've got wine.
I'll buy an ale, please.
Oh, lovely. That's 1 silver.
Great. I hand over a silver.
Thank you. If you make your way to a table, I can bring that right to you.
Are you coming? And I motion to Bardom.
Yeah, I'll bring your drink over and we can have a little chat.
Great.
I get the sense that you're a friendly character, but I'd recommend not sitting with those soldiers over there.
Oh, why not?
They don't take kindly to strangers.
Well, what if I make them my friends?
Try someone else, I beg ya.
I start to walk to the table that's closest to the bar, but then I'll stop at that girl too and be like, hi, or that person.
Hello there.
Hi, what's your name?
My name
Yes?
is Melissa. I didn't think of names for these friends.
That's the DM trick number 1. They'll ask you what everyone's name is, David.
I immediately got my name wrong, so that's fine.
My name is Melisandre. What's
Hi,
your name?
Melisandre. My name's Elara.
Elara.
Yes?
Very nice to meet you.
Would you like to be my friend?
One can never have too many friends.
Great. This is going great. I'll be over here.
Perfect. I heard you talking to Bardom. Perhaps we'll all join you.
Sounds great.
And last but not least, we have Woolsey's character.
I burst through the door very brazenly. I've got one hand on my shield. I have one hand on the hilt of my sword. And I walk in, I say, "This is a security sweep. Criminals, make yourself known, for there is a delivery of barley."
The guards look at you with very confused, but like kind of approving look at the same time.
I give them like a nod and a smile and like a little wave with my shield.
And kind of mockingly, they're like holding their drinks up to you, like kind of jokingly appreciating what you're doing. Marta chimes in, sir, we weren't expecting any deliveries, and you're certainly not our security. Might I ask who you are?
No, I'm security for the farmer.
Well, you'll get no trouble from us.
Private free security.
I need to look into that.
Well, I bet any criminals would be pretty bold to be in this establishment. I see that it's well guarded, and I nod over. I give a big grin to the guards. All right, but you said you weren't expecting any deliveries.
She kind of gives you a disapproving look after your comment about your sort of gestures towards the guards. She says, no, sir. Certainly not any barley here.
You sell ale, yes?
Yes, but our barley delivery is not for another, fortnight or so. We're all stocked.
All right, I'll leave it here. And I drop it on the floor. Do you have any water?
Oh, yes. Here at the Wingate Inn, we have everything you need.
I'll take some water and I'll take a warm fire.
Excellent. If you make your way to a table, I can bring that right out.
And if there's any criminal activity, please let me know.
You'll be my first call.
I guess I want to get warm by the fire. So I'll sit over the right of this fellow.
Elara gives a big wave as you pass.
I'm looking at the guards the whole time. I'm walking over to the left.
Just big smile. Cameron, you're playing your instrument, and Woolsey, you sit down.
I look over at Woolsey's character, and I kind of I'm starting to like pick at the first notes on my lyre, and I look over at Woolsey's character, and I take him in for a second, and then turn back to the guy that I'm playing for. You ever heard of the goddess Eldath?
I have.
I want you to close your eyes for a second. Look, I'll do it too. And I close my eyes.
He closes his.
Okay, I kind of squint my eyes open to see if his eyes are closed. And then I just keep my eyes open. And I say, now, I want you to think about where you're most at peace. Not where you're happiest, because when there are highs, there are lows. I want you to just think about peace.
Roll a perception check.
I got a 12. I'm trying to be hush-hush about this. From the outsider's perspective, I'm trying to make it just look like I'm playing my instrument.
You can sort of tell he's not taking this super seriously from his like body language.
Okay, that's fine. I continue trying, and I play a little bit. Where is it? Where do you find yourself most at peace?
Well, I guess I'd say in front of a fire, drink in my hand, undisturbed.
Interesting. Where do you find yourself second most at peace?
I'd say probably putting my sword through somebody who's ruining my evening.
Interesting. I minor illusion a sound that sounds like the faint clanging of swords and like swords tearing through flesh, like around to play like around his head. And I say, well, Eldath teaches us that we can only find inner peace through stillness. And stillness doesn't have to mean literally sitting still. Stillness can be spiritual. You could be running as fast as you can, but if that brings your soul stillness, it can also bring you peace. Just like if you are stabbing somebody with your sword, that could bring your soul stillness. So it can bring you peace. Do you feel this stillness?
And he kind of mockingly, yes, I'm at peace. I finally found it.
Eldath also teaches us to aid others in finding their inner peace. She says that by giving others the means to find their stillness, we open our own souls so that stillness may find us as well. She teaches that if you find someone in need, you should always offer them whatever you can to ensure they have the chance to find their peace one day. Now, open your eyes. And as he opens his eyes, I'm gonna cast a silent image around him to kind of like give the faint impression that like while his eyes were like, like when you look at something, like look at a light for a while, then look away from it, like the image is still kind of burned in your eyes. Like I try to silent image that so like it fades kind of as he's opening his eyes, but it's like the image of like people on a battle, like being on a battlefield, very gory, bloody, and it fades as he gets reoriented with the light. And then I reach out my hand and I say, "Take my hand."
He reaches out.
And as he reaches out, I put my lyre to the side. I say, "The green goddess always gives her blessings to those whose souls are open to accepting the stillness she provides. Is your soul open?"
As open as it can be.
And I take his hand and I pull out a necklace that's hanging below my shirt. And it's like a silver pendant that hangs on a dark braided rope. And the pendant is of a waterfall that's crashing into a pool of water. I grasp this pendant tight and I cast guidance on him. "Oh, it seems like the green goddess has accepted you with open arms. You should count yourself among the blessed few who are able to gain her blessing on the first try. Please let me know if you have any questions." I let go of his hand, and I say, "I'll be." And I look out the window wistfully at the rain coming down. And I say, "I'll be in my usual place tonight, on the street just around the corner. You may have to wake me up though. I tend to pass out from the hunger."
He stands up and he says, he like looks at you. He goes, "Does that work on anybody?"
What?
And just walks over to you.
I'm kind of frozen in place and I slump down. I just say, "Oh, God damn it." And I look over at Woolsey's character and I say, "What the fuck do you want?"
I'm standing up completely straight, just watching this. I find solace in battle.
I perk up a little bit and I say, "Oh yeah?
Yes, but the gods are a bit silly, no?
Well, maybe you just haven't found the god for you."
Yes, I have.
"Oh, who?"
Justice. My god is justice, and my fate is decided. I will do good, and I will die good. Whatever gods are out there, they will see it.
I sigh. I'm like, "Oh, well, you seem like somebody who's really just."
Just what?
"Well, you know, I am gonna be sleeping out on the street tonight. I could use a little bit of gold to just, maybe I could get a room at the inn."
Have you committed any crimes today?
"Of course not."
Have you committed any crimes in the past?
"No."
Then why are you out on the street?
The hard times. I am lying. Should I give a deception check?
Sure.
I got a 21.
So you do not tell that he is fibbing you.
It's just hard times.
Well, you've obviously committed some sort of crime, but it may just not be very obvious to you. The best thing to get out of it is to just do good for others.
I might die.
If you have any gold, you should give them to everyone else in this bar.
Yeah, okay. And I just turn away and I just look at the fire.
I give him a big pat on the shoulder. How does his lyre playing sound?
I guess a performance check.
I'll run it. A natural 20.
You have not heard this instrument played so well in your life.
Yep. You've committed a crime and you sold your soul to the devil.
Whoa, what? What do you mean?
Or a devil.
Don't say that kind of stuff around here. They're soldiers here. They don't hear about religion and stuff. You got to keep your voice down.
And demons.
No, stop it.
You can tell they're kind of like looking over at you.
I tuck my necklace back into my shirt really quickly as he says that.
And as the conversation is kind of heating up, you see two more guards enter and sit at this table. Everyone over here is increasingly wary. You can kind of feel a tension rise and the conversation dies down and they skirt out of there.
Hey! Hey!
They don't even look back at you. And as the door opens, you hear an increasingly loud sort of commotion of wagons, horses, voices. A group of Valdric soldiers enter, charge at all of you, and it cuts to black.
No.
Uh-oh. I'm smiling until they talk.
We now awake a little time later. You awake to kind of the patter of rain and the wagon wheels going over the rocks and the dirt, and you come to, and you are on a path between the mountains. Y'all are all knowledgeable of like the topography. You can imagine that you're kind of south of Wingate now in the mountain range, the mountain pass. And you notice that it is the three of you. You all kind of clocked each other in the inn, as well as the mysterious hooded figure who did not solve your antics. And he says, "You're finally awake. Don't bother asking where we are. I couldn't tell you for sure. Just somewhere between where you were and somewhere worse, I presume. Seems we were all in the wrong place at the wrong time. And whatever comes next, I don't think it ends well."
Are we like bound or anything?
Yes, your hands are bound. You still have like all your belongings on you at the moment. You can't reach for your weapons, and you can also tell that like it's a sort of magical binding, so spells are also not able to be cast while you're in these. And roll perception on what he just said, please.
As we ride, I reach my hands up to like make sure that my necklace is still there underneath my shirt.
16.
A 19.
11.
You can all, to varying degrees, Cameron and Paris especially, you can tell that he's not being entirely forthcoming.
We think that he knows something more than what he's saying.
Yes.
Why are you awake?
Oh, this isn't the first time that I've been thrown in the back of the wagon. I learn not to fall asleep for too long. Gotta keep my wits about me.
Is this your fault that we're here?
It's not my fault, I would say.
Are we sure it's not the girl?
What? Me?
Yes, you. You look like
Why
a demon.
me?
Stop
A
talking
demon?
about demons.
She just looks like one.
Well, do you want to be my friend?
Me?
Yes.
I just called you a demon.
Well, friends make fun of each other a little bit, no?
I hope so. That would change my past.
Would you like So would you like to be my friend?
I suppose for the little time that we have left, sure.
Okay.
What do you mean? Are we gonna die?
Well, who knows?
Seems like it.
That seems the way we're going.
It's a little early, but I'm ready.
I look at the guy again and I say, what did you do? Why are we here?
Well, I hate to say, this was my plan. Having y'all here was not part of it. I fear that you're collateral damage, but I'm on the path I'm on.
What was your plan?
Let's just say you'll likely see it soon.
No, I think you should tell us.
Yeah, I think we ought to be informed on what's about to happen.
There will be a point, likely coming up, where it looks lost for all of us. But all I'll say for now is keep hope. I think that we have more life left in us. And the guards turn around and they say, "Would you please stop that chattering? We're here."
Oh, hello?
Yes, sir.
I think there's been a mistake.
And we arrive at sort of a mining town. So the guards that were ahead of you pull in here, and then you enter and you pass two archer towers manned by Valdric soldiers. You see kind of a camp set up, a bunch of red tents where you can presume Valdric soldiers are living. An abandoned mine, a large keep is kind of the prominent thing that you're pulling up to, and you also, over here, you do clock what looks like siege equipment and kind of some more wood, which would presume that there's more in production. So we pull up to here where there is a intimidating looking, it definitely is not just a soldier, this guy, as well as what looks like a headsman at a wooden stump. And you can tell as you pull up, the hooded figure looks very confused and worried and says, kind of under his breath, "Valdor," like almost like a question.
We hear that?
Yeah,
Do we know what that name means or anything?
not yet.
I look at Woolsey and Barris' characters and I say, are y'all Valdor?
Not in this life.
No, my name's Elara. What's your name?
Not gonna matter. I think we're about to die.
Well, I think you should tell me.
Why?
Because I think we should know each other's names if we're
He's
gonna
Valdor.
die.
He is.
I'm not Valdor.
Just say your name. I don't
Admit
understand.
it.
Theo.
Theo. And what's your name? And I look at Austin's character.
Oh, Chipleth.
Chip?
Chipleth.
Chipleth.
Chip?
Chipleth.
I'll call you Chip, I think.
Like with an F?
Leth.
Chip.
Like a
Chipleth.
TH.
Chipleth.
And my friends call me Sun Chip.
I'll call you Chip, I think.
Chipleth. Fuck. I turned to the guy and I say, so you're Valdor.
To which one? To the
To the
hooded
guy sitting with us
Yeah.
in the thing.
Me? No, my name is Ronan.
Do you know who Valdor is?
Yeah, Valtor.
Valdor.
General in the Valdric army.
And we wouldn't know that? Or
No.
would we? Okay.
Like you know that there is a Valdric army, but you wouldn't know the specifics. But this guy seems, you can tell by his worried look that he definitely knows who he is, and this is a scary individual, and he was not part of his plan that for him to be here.
Ronan, tell us your plan so we can help.
It seems like you might be our only way out of here.
The guards once again interrupt.
And it was the headsman that said Valtor?
No, it was the guy.
Oh,
it was Ronan. It was Ronan.
Okay.
The guy in
the
the
same
wagon
thing.
with you.
Does he look like the Guardians of the Galaxy villain? Wasn't that his name, Ronan?
No, he does not look like that.
Okay.
And so you pull up, the wagon comes to a stop, and you hear the person you now know as Valtor say, "Didn't expect to see me here, did you, Ronan?
Hi.
Do not interrupt me.
Do not
Your
interrupt him.
stunt
Sorry, I
at
didn't
Greystone Keep proved to be as sloppy as it was stupid. You involved yourselves in matters you do not understand. And did you really think we'd let you escape? Tracking you proved far more valuable than killing you. And now look, you've brought us more of your friends."
Oh, no.
No,
Not friends.
we're not friends.
Elara, you
Haven't
said
made
you
any
were. You
friends.
said you were.
Well, I'm trying, but he's not a friend.
I'm not trying. I think you picked me up on accident.
There's a mistake.
Well, associates, sympathizers,
No.
opportunists,
No,
No, not really.
none
it
of
matters
those.
not what you call yourselves.
I think it does.
You were seen together, and that is enough.
Well, we're in the same building.
I don't see the bartender here. I don't see the other soldiers that were sitting at the tables.
The Empire has had enough of your Covenant ploys. Names. And he orders you all down from the wagon, kind of lines you all up.
Our hands are tied in front of us.
Yeah,
Can we not cast spells while our hands are tied?
you cannot.
Magical or something.
He points to you, Paris.
Hi.
Says you. Who are you?
Elara?
Where are you from, Elara?
Driftmere. Well, I came from Wingate, but I was in Driftmere before. And then I was kind of out the mountain for a little while at Baltarn. So I kind of been all over, but now I'm here.
And how did you find your way to the Covenant?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Likely story.
Where are you from? I like your cape.
He ignores you and points to Chipleth. Name.
Chipleth Sunfire of House Sunfire, sir. And I try to salute with my hands tied.
He goes by Sunchip.
But only his friends can call him
I
that.
shoot daggers. I shoot daggers at Elara. Sir, I was on a security mission. I believe my cause is just. Is yours.
There is no juster cause than that of the Valdric Empire.
Then you must know that this girl, and I look at Elara, is the
Me?
most innocent being I've come across.
Oh, thank you.
Just
The others not so much.
No, what?
It's true.
There has been some sort of mistake here. I keep track of my crimes, and I am 482 and 0 when it comes to crimes.
How do you lose a crime?
You do it.
So you have avoided doing a crime 482 times.
I've stopped 482 crimes, you heathen.
But what about the crimes that you didn't stop?
I shed a tear. And I go down to my knees. I say, he's right. Off with my head.
Well, I didn't say that.
Valtor looks at his headsman and says, I like this one's vigor. He turns and points to Theo. Name.
Why do you need to know my name? You're
His
about to
name's
kill me.
Theo.
Fine. I'm Theodore Cascadia.
But Theo. That's what his friends call him. We're friends.
Where are you from, Theodore Cascadia?
I'm from Driftmere too.
No way.
Yeah, actually. If only we could talk a little bit more about it before
That's
we die. But,
crazy.
yeah.
You guys have never met.
No.
That's crazy.
What are the odds?
He looks again to his headsman and he says, we'll need to track Covenant movements in Driftmere, it seems.
It's
Seems to be a hot spot.
I don't know where you're getting this covenant stuff. This guy, I was in the tavern. We were there. She wasn't even sitting with us.
They were soldiers. Have you checked them?
That's
They
a
were
good
there
question.
too.
They might be your covenant.
They might be your covenant.
My own Valdric soldiers who I sent to capture everybody.
Undercover, maybe.
Could be.
Could be.
Under-
Sure,
Covenant.
I'll check with them next.
It's a good one, Chip.
Now that I know you, and considering you'll all be dead before long, perhaps it's time I fully introduce myself. I'm Cassian Valtor, one of the High Generals of the Valdric Empire. You may have heard rumors of our expeditions around Kaldyr, and let me put those to rest. They're true, and we will find what we're looking for. But that's enough pleasantries.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, you might as well tell us we're about to die. What was your name? Like that was this big fucking secret.
I will take much pleasure in watching all of you die.
You're a weird
That's
guy.
strange. Why do
Yeah.
you think you'll take pleasure in that?
It's a good
Because-
question, actually.
You keep interrupting me.
Oh, sorry. I'm active listening.
She probably has more friends than you.
It's true. I've made a lot of friends.
The Valdric don't concern themselves with friendship. We concern
That's
ourselves
really
with
sad.
conquest.
That's a problem. Do you think? Are you happy?
Ronan,
I don't think he's happy.
you're really scrubbing the bottom of the barrel for these.
We don't know this guy.
We don't know this
Tell
guy.
him, Ronan. We don't know you.
Ronan just is sitting there. He doesn't seem like scared, which is, you clock is a bit weird, but he's just kind of accepting it.
Useless. I kicked like dirt onto him.
And Valtor says, "We'll start with Ronan."
Fine by me.
He brings him up to the chopping block. The headsman approaches. He's pushed onto the stump, foot to the back onto his knees. And as the headsman raises his axe, he is pierced in the chest with an arrow.
What the fuck?
And you see from the mountains.
The headsman is pierced
Oh, hell yeah.
in the chest.
Yeah, the
Okay,
headsman
okay.
was pierced in the chest.
Oh, I didn't even get to talk to that guy.
And you can see in the mountains dozens of silver-cloaked archers have popped their heads up and begin raining arrows
Holy
across
shit!
the whole town.
Whoa!
I'm gonna take off whenever I can.
From the tents, the soldiers appear. These soldiers start to disembark the wagon, and you hear Valtor say, "They're here, the Covenant." Almost on cue, Ronan dashes for the keep as Valtor is kind of trying to regroup with his soldiers here. And he turns to y'all and says, "Follow me if you want to survive."
You could have told us this plan, Ronan.
Yeah, what the? You knew this was gonna happen?
Do we all run in?
Yeah, I'm sprinting after
Yeah.
him.
Is the headsman dead?
The headsman's dead.
Dead. R.I.P.
So we're all now in the keep.
Oh, it's nice in here.
It's better than out there.
That's for sure.
So you're now inside kind of the entrance room to this keep. You see a bunch of weapon stands, and then just kind of rusted, broken mining equipment, some old tracks, but there are also some barrels of like ores, stones, some gold. As you entered a bit after Ronan, and you're seeing him use some of the blades to free himself of the bindings, and he walks back up to y'all. "Apologies for the smoke and mirrors. The truth is, my being here was no accident. I believe there's information here, and the fact that Valtor is here too means it's crucially important to the Valdric, which in turn makes it crucially important to the Covenant. You cannot remain in their hands. I know you don't deserve to be here, but it appears this is the only way out for all of us now. Will you fight with me?" And give everyone roll a history check.
Okay, 12.
13.
7.
Theo and Elara, you kind of know of the Covenant more from stories from way in the past, like long before the Valdric. You knew that they used to be kind of a noble group that worked with the high houses of Kaldyr to kind of find relics, protect trade routes, and just kind of preserve history in a way. So they were held in high esteem, but not much has been heard from them really since the Valdric arrived. So maybe a little after. So Valdric have been here for about like 3 centuries. So maybe for like the last 250 years, there's not really been much said about the Covenant.
Okay, but they used to be like a bigger thing.
Yeah.
I'm not one for politics, so I'll probably just head out if that's okay.
You step out of that door, you will die. They believe you're Covenant, and there is no convincing them that you're not.
Whose fault is that?
Yeah, I really am not a big fan of yours, dude.
Again, I apologize. It was not part of my plan to have you here. But once you were in that wagon, it was your head or this keep. Yeah, he cuts all of you free.
I will fight beside you, but not for you yet.
Oh, I like that. That's good, Chip.
Thank you. I rustle Elara's hair.
I don't like that.
personal space, Chip.
Huzzah! And I run in front of Ronan.
Where are you going?
I immediately stop. I turn around.
Do we have like a plan? How do we get out of this?
Follow me. I know the layout of this keep. The only thorn in this plan was the fact that Valtor must have known I was coming. On a normal day, I could get through this keep myself, so I'm not expecting. With 4 of us, we should be able to get through it. A room towards the top of this keep where the information is being held, according to my intel.
Oh, let's go. Should we barricade the door or something?
That's a good idea.
Do we lock it?
Yeah, should we just? Can we pull those like weapon racks over in front of the door?
Buy some time.
Genius.
Do we have our weapons?
Oh, yeah, they were confiscated, weren't they? But you found them on the rack.
Okay.
So, yeah, you have your weapons back.
Okay.
And you make your way through this doorway.
This is real growth, Paris. You didn't go for any gold.
Yeah, true.
New character,
New
Paris.
character, Paris.
Wait, yeah, there was a lot of gold over there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
The wheelbarrow
Theo
full of
scoops as much as he can into his
There
pocket.
has to be one.
Now, they're like full nuggets, so they are pretty heavy.
Okay,
You
two
can find
maybe.
a way later to make those into gold pieces later.
Okay, yeah.
Do I see this? Are you trying to be sneaky?
I'm not trying to be sneaky. I am not.
I unsheath my sword.
No, this is the gold of these guys are trying to kill us. I'm taking their gold.
Thievery is thievery, and it is unjust.
Okay,
Well,
Drop it.
I drop it and I wait for Chip to turn around.
I
and then
turn around and I whip my cape really dramatically, and I kind of jump while I run forward, almost like a slow gallop run.
I stuff the gold back into my pockets.
So we have made our way into this room. As you enter, you hear kind of footsteps and 2 voices saying like, there's commotion outside. We need to see what's going on. And then they round this corner. So now
Hi.
we will roll initiative.
Oh fuck.
17.
10.
16.
Elara, you will go first.
I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Oh my god.
But as a Circle of Stars druid, I get 2 free uses that are not spell slots.
Okay.
For those counting the spell slots at home, keep track of them.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we gotta
Oh.
keep Paris honest.
I think it's cool, so I want everyone to know. I'm gonna cast it once.
Well,
and
I have a
then-
sword. Fuck.
So I'll target the guard that's closest to me, and a flash of light streaks towards that creature. No, 9.
The flash of light, like I assume it flashes and nothing happens.
Elara's a little nervous to do this in front of people. I will bonus action. I kind of shake off. Elara kind of looks around like, did anyone see that? And then I shake it off, and then I'm gonna bonus action wild shape. And my wild shape takes form as I have all these constellation tattoos that start glowing. And specifically, my starry form archer glows on my arm. And while I'm in wild shape as a Circle of Stars druid, I can cast spells.
So you're not an animal.
I'm not an animal. I'm still a human, but that tattoo just like glows on my arm.
That's so cool.
And that's my turn.
Wait, yeah, can we give like little descriptions of our characters too? Like what they look like and stuff?
We'll start with Elara.
Elara is tall, young, like 22, kind of bluish colored skin, white hair, purple eyes, and she has black tattoos all over her body that are different constellations. And she carries a big staff.
Are you what race are you?
Oh, I'm an Aasimar.
Is this anything like what Theo would have seen in his life? What Elara is doing right now?
No.
Okay, yeah.
You're from the same town. You never saw
I
the
didn't
blue
train.
girl.
I didn't learn this in that town.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's thoroughly befuddled by how this like angelic creature from his literal like his swampy hometown is able to do this kind of stuff.
They split the middle schools to be in the same district because it was a sports town.
Yes. One side of the highway.
Yeah.
Elara turns around to everyone. She's like, all right, I'm just kind of warming up. Someone else wants to go
Way
first.
to light the way, Elara.
That was the goal. And actually, I do emit a pretty bright light when I'm in this shape.
They're blinded.
It's a 10-foot radius, and then a dim light for another 10 feet. So I'm just like emitting light right now.
Chipleth does a somersault and is kind of waving his cape around. He's got his sword, and he holds his long sword with one hand, his shield with the crest of a sun on the other. He has bright orange, fiery red hair, kind of like Stark in Freerin. He's got pale, freckled skin, glowing golden eyes. He's a bit wiry. He's not necessarily a tank, but he's a dexterity-based paladin human. And so I like to think that he's like being very acrobatic and kind of flaunting as he moves. He runs forward. He's about 5'10". He's 19 years old. He runs forward, does some spins, and he says, "Remember, non-lethal damage." And he is going to swing his long sword, the blunt side of his long sword, at this knight on the right. That's a 19 to hit.
That hits.
I'll do a Searing Smite. Takes an extra 1d6 fire damage at the start of each of its turns until the spell ends. The target takes 1d6 fire damage and then makes a Constitution saving throw until it passes.
He takes the sword and it kind of jolts him back, and he emits like a especially at the burn.
Strike back, my good man.
With pleasure.
Big toothy smile.
He's gonna do a two-handed long sword. It's a 14 to hit.
That's a miss. I flash my cape over him and do its whirl.
He loses sight in your cape and he just misses wildly to the side of you.
There's like a little bit of like my cape catches on fire for a second.
Yeah.
Katniss moment.
The boy on fire.
Theo's kind of freaked out. He takes a step back. He finds himself in really strange company. He's used to like hanging around the taverns and the inns and just kind of the normal folk there. And he is like 6'2". He has kind of shaggy blonde hair and like a short, scruffy blonde beard. And he's wearing just normal traveler's clothes. He doesn't have any kind of armor on or anything. He has like a burlap shirt and some blue pants, and his lyre is slung across his back. And he is going to take a step back with wide eyes and look around, and he is going to yell, "Stop!" at the guards, and he's going to cast command at a second level. So yeah. Both of them are going to have to make a wisdom save.
One rolls a 14, the one on the right, and then the one on the left rolls a 7.
Cool. The one on the left fails, so the one on the left is going to have to stop and not take its next action, basically. Like it's going to be frozen. It's going to be frozen in place for the next turn.
Cool. So that is now Ronan's turn. He kind of looks at them and he says, "You're in our way." And he moves to this guy on the left, and he swings and misses at the dude who can't.
Useless.
Ronan, I thought you were our leader.
This guy's way more impressive than you, Leth.
I do a backflip.
And so then it's the guy who's frozen's turn. He can't
so
do
he's just there. But it wears off now, like after his turn.
I'm gonna cast Moonbeam at a second level.
Ice cream?
Moonbeam ice cream.
Oh no.
A silvery beam of pale light shines down into 5. Are they within 5 feet of each other?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try and shine it it's a like cylinder that I just want to catch both of them, and they have to do a con save, 13.
You really have a brand, huh?
What do you mean?
It's all like kind of light based and stars and stuff.
Oh yes, I like stars.
And I am fire. What's
Yeah.
your brand?
My brand? Music, I guess.
Music.
Yeah, and like,
Oh, that's right. Yes, you sold your soul to a demon.
well,
That too. Devil music, I think.
It is. It is. It really is.
I think so.
Yes.
It suits you.
as soon as we're out of here, I'm gonna go my own way. Don't want to. Y'all are a little too much for me.
They rolled a
Wow.
6 and a 2, so they both failed.
Awesome. They both fail. It's 10 damage.
But to each of them.
And that
That's great.
stays, that beam stays. And then with my bonus action, I'm going to use my, you see that my archer, like constellation kind of glows. And then out of it, this like giant luminous arrow appears in the air. And I'm going to shoot at the one who's looking bad.
So this cylinder shows up out of nowhere, basically from the ceiling, encapsulating them both with radiant damage, and this guy drops his sword, just falls to his knees, dead.
Oh, oops.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I guess I'll shoot the other one.
Non-lethal damage.
What do you mean? They're bad guys.
We don't know.
Justice, right?
I thought you were like a black and white guy.
I shoot my arrow at the other one. 10.
No, he dodges out
Non-lethal,
of it.
like you said.
I'm gonna knee slide next to this guy and try and cast Spare the Dying on him. Or do I get the sense that he is dead?
I fear he's dead.
Okay. I take his pulse. I don't do that. On my forearm, I write there's 482 notches and then a dash and then nothing. And I write 1 notch to the right.
Whoa, Chip.
And then I'm going to...
With what, like a pen?
With a
blade.
small dagger.
Oh my gosh. Chip. I killed him, not you, Chip.
And then a tear rushes down my cheek, and I'm going to wing my sword at this other fellow. Okay, I guess I run on the perimeter, and I swing my sword through the moonbeam.
Okay.
This guy.
So again, this guy kind of takes the burn from the seer, and you can tell he is in a precarious way.
Theo is going to look up at Chipleth. And he's going to say, "You really don't want to kill these guys?"
Not if we don't have to.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I look at the final remaining guard and I yell, "Flee!" And I cast command again. So basically he has to take whatever path he can that's furthest away from, like whatever he can do to get away from us, he has to do.
I would say this guy knows it's not very smart to run like directly into this room,
Sure.
because he can kind of sense that that's where y'all are going. So he's
Okay.
just going to try and like book it between all of you.
Sure.
But that triggers opportunity attacks from everybody. I
If we want
presume.
to.
I'm going to let him go.
Ronan is not going to let this guy go.
Sure.
And he kind of gets him in the back as he runs past, and the guy just crumples to the floor. So we'll actually say he dies right here.
Oh.
I tried.
I dashed to Chipleth to try and hold his arm back from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was... Ronan, he was running away.
Likely to get 30 more guards in here. Y'all handle yourselves well. I'm impressed.
Does the Covenant always stab people in the back while they run away?
The Covenant has done what it has needed to survive.
What is survival if there's no honor?
You think the Valdric have honor?
He stopped the fight. He ran.
He was going to bring the fight to us.
Well, we'll never know.
I've been dealing with them probably longer than you've been alive. I know. Perhaps you'll just have to see the world is not as so simple as you would like to make it out to be. Anyway, we should keep going. And Ronan heads in this way.
Hey, Chip.
Yes.
You want me to kill him?
She probably could.
Like, I think I could
she's
kill him.
kind of a freak.
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Just don't do that carving shit into your skin thing anymore.
Yeah, that Chip was a little weird.
It's the same crime, really. So it really counts as one.
But I killed him, not you.
We all did it together.
Not
His
really.
fates will be the same as ours.
Yeah, if we don't keep
right.
going, I think we should.
All right,
I think
let's
we
go.
should run.
That passageway led up kind of a winding staircase, and you find your way into almost like a small library of sorts. You see a table in the middle with multiple maps laid out, shelves, tables, chests, all strewn with books, maps, and kind of other information. The ceiling opens up almost like a tower. You can tell you're kind of at the top of the keep, and there are glass windows up above you. And Ronan says, "All right, this is the room we were looking for. Everybody, spread out and search." And he makes his way immediately to the table.
For what?
I believe that the Empire has information regarding their excavation sites in this room. But judging by everything here, I'm sure that there's more information to be found. We'll want to move on the double. We don't know what might be behind us.
Which is, I don't necessarily want to just stick around looking for books for your covenant. I would rather live.
Yeah, how are we getting out of here?
Those archers, those were Covenant, as you could tell, and the plan is for them to break through those windows and repel us up. But we need the information, otherwise this has all been for naught.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
I'm on board.
I apologize again for not being up front.
Yeah, just next time, you know.
Absolutely.
Yes, you typically go from the back, don't you?
Weird, Chip.
Chip, what are you talking about?
Chip.
He's done us from the back before. He'll do it again.
All right, we're so essentially all we can do is wait for the archers to come in here and get us.
Yes, they know about how long. You know, we had this whole town laid out. We've done proper scouting. They know about how long it should take me to move through. So probably in the next few minutes, I'm expecting them to break through and save us.
All right.
All right.
I guess I'll help you look for your book. Am I?
Cool.
Will you give us like money for this or something?
The Covenant can definitely help compensate you for the effort. We're greatly
Oh.
appreciative.
All right. Yeah.
Cool.
He's gonna start like looking through the books, and he's also gonna like at the same time be looking for anything about like if there are like prisoner logs or anything, or any kind of books related to like crimes in Driftmere of past.
Where are you starting your search?
I'm probably just gonna run to like the dense, wherever the books are like densest, like wherever there's the most to look through.
I'll go up to the tables with the open books. And as I search, I'll just be like, yeah, tossing them behind me if they have no value to me.
Chipleth is kind of down and pouting a little bit. He's kind of like looking in places that don't make sense, like under the table and under the rug, and kind of being slow about it.
So Ronan clocks that you're looking in like really dumb places. Chipleth, make yourself useful. Those barrels, that chest, and like indicates down here.
The chest or the back?
You've got to let that go, boy.
I like glare at him, and then I like standing straight up. I do a backwards somersault.
It's just Knack again.
Turn. Yeah. I turn heel, and then I start looking. But I'm more so like I'm keeping an eye out for what he's looking for. I'm looking for the latest recent declarations of newer laws or the most updated proclamations by jarls or anything like that.
Go to Theo first. So you're just kind of searching through these books, and you do see it's not prisoner logs, but like the locations of the prisons in relation to like the major towns. It's like a map of that. On this table, you also see what looks to be a treasure map.
I'll get that shit too.
Yeah, pocket that shit. And then that seems to kind of be the main information that you were looking. Oh wait, no, you also do see just like a general book of laws, but like I don't know if that would be of interest to you.
I mean, I'll look over at Chipleth and I say, "Hey, you want this book of laws?"
Chipleth is like treasure map after treasure map throwing to the side. Laws?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You don't want it.
I overhand throw it at Chipleth.
I like I catch it like
Odell Beckham.
like Odell.
Yeah. Sick.
Then I sit crisscross on the floor reading it.
And while you were just like throwing everything behind you, probably like millions of golds worth of treasure chests, treasure maps, would you have searched in the barrel at all?
Yeah.
You find a potion of water breathing.
Ooh.
Cool.
Ooh.
So we'll go to Elara. You were searching, what were you searching for, or nothing?
I didn't really say. I think maybe anything that is like about the gods or like anything like beyond the world. But I'm not really interested in anything that has to do with our world.
Okay. You don't find too much, just kind of more general histories. Some like you know, some you don't know.
Stupid, dumb. I don't
But
care.
I would say in the periphery, I might be stretching it, but I'm going to say you catch something of interest on this back table.
Oh.
It's not a map, but kind of scribbled notes regarding constellations. Like you can tell that they're sort of studying them in a way. And you see a telescope.
Is this a telescope that I could like take, or is it like?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like a little collapsible
Cool.
kind.
I'll take both.
So cool.
Right after that, you kind of hear Ronan say, "Oh no, it's worse than I thought." And you all
What?
kind of gather around.
It seems like you found your stuff right away, and then you asked us to go around and look at other places. You didn't move at all.
He was studying
He was
the various
moving.
He's a
maps.
slow reader.
You can assume he was studying the various
Busy
maps.
work. You gave us busy work.
Is this good? And I've like colored some pictures in the wall.
All right. As Valtor kind of alluded to, the Valdric are looking for something, and they've begun their expeditions, and nobody really knows what it is, and that is why I concocted this plan to get myself captured because I knew the information was here. However, all I was expecting was a map of excavation sites, which is here. It shows that they have found a few and a few more areas that they are looking for. But of graver danger is this map. And he slides it over into the middle of the table, and it shows what looks to be other kind of Valdric strongholds in the mountains, as well as siege plans for Wingate. And before he can explain further, you hear footsteps approaching from the stairs behind you.
Fuck.
3 soldiers show up.
All right, Ronan, time to get us out of here.
Yeah.
Yes, where are
your
those archers?
Also, are they gonna get all of us if they were just planning on you?
As y'all are speaking, you see 2 much stronger looking enemies show up, and Ronan mutters, "Wardens." Again,
Wardens?
indicating that he did not expect wardens to be here.
Ronan, this is not a good plan.
No, you did not have a good idea of what was going to happen here.
You said it was
We're
for
trapped in a
one
room.
person.
Are there any windows at all?
Yeah, there's the windows above you, which you're expecting
Okay.
safety from. So we'll roll initiative again.
Ronan, I feel like is this a prank TV show? I'm got an 11.
I got a 7.
11.
Soldier 2 is going to step up and say, "Time to face Vareth, Ronan." And then just roll like a history check again.
Ooh, a natural 20.
10.
11.
You all know that Vareth is the god that the Valdric worship. And Theo, just given kind of your, I would say, like adjacency to religion, with Eldrath, you're aware that they are essentially trying to replace the gods of Kaldyr with Vareth and are very strict about worshiping other gods. So that's what he means when he says Vareth awaits.
Okay, I kind of scoff when he says that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, where?
And he kind of stops while he's approaching, and he looks and he goes, "It means I'm going to kill him.
No, don't
No.
kill Ronan.
And send him to the god?
Don't
You're a
die."
I would be so sad if you killed Ronan and then all the archers came and saved us.
I'm not participating.
And then he
Chip, you have to?
misses. He misses Ronan.
Aura lost.
Oh, he's cooked.
Chipleth is going to walk up slowly to the first guard that just swung. He's going to put his hand on his shoulder and he's going to say, "Flee. Your cause is unjust. And I'm also captain."
Let's go.
He rolled a natural 1.
Yes.
And take your friends with you.
Don't think he can do that, right?
Only if you upcast it.
But now they're open to it because they're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This dude starts shrieking and just bolts out.
Okay, Theo is gonna jump over the table and run in front of Chipleth. Sorry, Leth. There are way too many of them. And he's gonna cast Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is a wave of thunderous force that sweeps out from me. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from me must make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, only the first soldier fails. So it's gonna be 9 damage for the soldier who failed and 5 for all the other ones, or 4 for all the other ones. But the one who failed is gonna get thrown back 10 feet. Didn't they come up through stairs?
Yeah.
Is he gonna get thrown down the stairs?
Let's do it.
Yeah. and then I'm going to duck out of the way. If I have movement left, I'm going to try to run back behind Chipleth and Ronan, even if I have to take an opportunity attack.
I'll say this guy gets an opportunity attack.
Sure.
It's a 7 to hit.
Misses. I dodge out of the way. I'm like,
reaches and fails to hit you.
yeah. As soon as I cast Thunderwave, I like put my hands over my head and like curl into as much of a ball as I can while running away from them. I get as low as possible.
Theo, they aren't finished yet.
This warden
You can finish him.
slowly steps
Okay.
up to Chipleth. Just kind of looks down on him. You're 5'10". This dude's giving 6'5" energy.
Chipleth's actually 5'11" and honest about it.
Okay, this dude's getting 6'6" energy. Looks down upon you.
He's like Jalen Brown.
What's up, big dog?
And he is going to hit you with his great sword, or swing at you with his great sword. 16 to hit.
Clanks off my shield.
Wields it up again. He's going to use multi-attack, and that is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to do 15 damage.
Ooh.
Oh shit, Chipleth.
I kind of go down on a knee, look up, and there's like a stream of blood running from underneath my hair.
Save us, Star Lady.
Beam us out of here. Beam us.
I can't do that. I'll cast Guiding Bolt. No! It's like my 5th 4. I got 9.
That's not going to hit anybody.
I'll use my archer still for starry form and hurl a arrow at the big guy right in front of me for a straight shot.
So you kind of get him through the chest plate, but it doesn't really move him. And you can tell that this guy is intact. And these guys are much tougher than the soldiers you just kind of cut through in the hallway. That is the one remaining soldier's turn. I guess just logically, he's going to go up to Chipleth and roll to hit with his sword. 14.
Misses.
How do you dodge it?
I think I was just hit down by the other guy onto my knee.
Okay.
Theo leans back as the sword goes over Chipleth's head. The person he was trying to hide behind. He like limbos underneath the sword.
Ronan kind of is dicey about approaching the warden.
You coward, Ronan. You're so useless.
Fine. And he takes him on. He gives in to peer pressure. And he is going to roll. Yes, he rolled a 19. That hits. But this guy still looks fairly strong.
Yikes.
And that brings us to warden number 2.
Fuck.
I forgot there's 2.
Seeing this warden get hit is going to approach Ronan and use his great sword. Missed with the first one. He's going to multi-attack. Missed with the second one. Ronan showed a little bit of agility. Maybe he was feeling the pressure from y'all's talk, but he jukes and jives his way out of there.
Keep him busy, Ronan.
Some healthy peer pressure.
And then kind of as that happens, you hear more footsteps.
Oh no.
Oh.
No way.
Oh no.
And you see 2 more
Oh, no.
wardens appear, along with the soldiers who were banished, I guess.
Ronan!
No, Ronan.
Where's the glass people?
And as it starts to set in that this is not a battle you will win, you do hear the glass crash, or the glass crack open. A rope descends. Above you, you see kind of those silver-cloaked archers. Say, Ronan, it's time! They're all kind of looking at Ronan, all these guards. They were clearly, especially the wardens, like they were specifically here because Valtor was in on the plan. And so he says, you 3, grab the maps, the 2 that he told you about, the siege plans and the excavation sites, and then says, get out of here.
We can finish them off.
You fool! You can't! Get out of here!
Yeah, we'll see you later, Ronan.
He starts to fight off, like, tries to parry kind of all these oncoming attacks at once.
Ronan, we won't leave you.
Oh, I will.
I knock out Chipleth with the hilt of my dagger.
I go unconscious.
And I start dragging him over, but as I start dragging him over, I like turn around, kind of no hesitation, but I feel kind of bad, and I'm just gonna cast one more thunder wave at the rest of the guards, just to try to clear them out, and then I'll scoop up the maps and stuff them into Chipleth's armor.
You grab the ropes the Covenant above you, you hear one kind of out the window, not in shot, say, "What's the holdup?" And then the one holding the rope says, "Ronan's not here." And Ronan, still fighting, kind of looks back and says, "You bloody fools, leave without me." And they very reluctantly start pulling up the rope. Ronan is kind of fighting off the soldiers, and y'all finally start to get lifted up. He looks to you and he says, "Tell them, from ash we rise." And that's the last thing you hear as you get swept up. And you see Ronan get surrounded and get shot down as you make your safe escape from the keep.
I pour one out for Ronan from my water skin as we're pulled up.
You open to quite a chaotic scene. Chaos has completely consumed this like mining village, mining town. The foot soldiers for the Covenant, again clad in silver, were able to breach the gates and were engaging many of the soldiers one-on-one. They set fire to the siege equipment as well as the archer towers. In the middle, you see Valtor has easily cut down kind of anybody who has approached. Some of the archers from the Covenant have been eliminated, but they are still kind of shooting arrows raining down over the keep and onto the ground.
Now that Chipleth is like, now that we're out of the situation, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him to bring him back to consciousness, but also just to cure his wounds that he got during the fight. And I look around at the chaos and I turn to the archers that are with us and I say, "How are we getting out of here?"
You follow me. There's a wagon outside these gates. He is pretty shaken up by losing Ronan, but there's just no time at this moment.
Yeah.
Does Ronan know the plan?
Yeah. Ronan's getting out. Ronan's getting out.
We'll meet him there.
I turn to Elara, right?
Yes, he'll be out soon.
I was starting to like him.
He liked you a lot too. He
All
said
right.
that before we left.
We'll meet up with him.
Someday.
But
It'll
if we
take him a
don't-
while.
He has other things to do. He's very busy.
That's true.
My head
He
hurts.
probably has hobbies and
Yeah.
You can see there's kind of like a siege ladder that they've put down here, and the archer says, "Follow me and we can get out of here." So we're all following, and as you kind of crest the side of the wall,
I Legolas down the ladder.
you see that Valtor clocks you, and he's starting to like gather men to try and take you.
No, not us. We're going on
You
our
all
way.
get out well before.
Yeah.
Good.
You do see that he saw you get out of the keep
Okay.
Oh.
and leave the town.
I wave goodbye.
On the other side of the
I'm a little
gate,
woozy.
the archer who led you down gets in with one of the soldiers who was waiting. The three of you join in, and the soldier on the right kind of looks over and goes, "Where's Ronan?"
He's meeting up with us.
And the archer kind of looks back at you and says, "He didn't make it."
Didn't make it out yet, but he's coming.
We didn't really see what happened.
Wait,
Roll deception.
there's a gap in my memory. We were
You got
fighting.
hit pretty hard by the wardens.
We were winning.
17?
I got a 24.
I mean, the archer literally saw it.
But this is it's also I'm also just trying to get them to like not necessarily tell Chipleth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we can be like,
Yeah.
he's gonna meet up with us later.
And the guy kind of clocks it, and so he just kind of turns to you and goes, "Is there anything he told you?"
Yeah. It was like as we were getting pulled out, and we had made plans to meet up later. He said,
"You fools." That's the last thing I remember.
"Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. Good job, Leth." Right after you got hit you got your bell rung a little bit by the warden, and he said, "From ash we rise."
And you can see kind of a shocked face, but then turns somber, and he just kind of nods, and the archer and the soldier both just turn their heads and begin their ride. But there seems to be kind of a sense of understanding when they hear those words. There's no more questions, no more conversation from them. So as you are riding away, the sounds of fighting begin to fade out, the glow of the flames disappearing behind the towering mountains, with only kind of the billowing smoke still in view. Elara, roll me a nature or perception check.
18.
So you feel kind of a shift in energy kind of within you, and you are kind of compelled, and you feel like you look up at the stars and you see a constellation that looks like a dagger kind of on its side, and then under kind of resembles a branch of sorts, like an olive branch. You clock that the dagger, the stars forming the dagger, are glowing brighter than you remember previously. And so now, as you all continue to wheel away, those who were only seeking a cold drink and a warm bed now get the sense that they are part of something much bigger than themselves. And that is where we will stop.
Let's go.
Sick.
Yay.
Great job, David Master.
So fun.
Yeah, maybe we'll meet up with Ronan again someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that is session 1, Ashes of Kaldyr.
So cool.
From ash we rise.
Yeah.
Is it we rise?
Yeah, from ash, comma, or ... we rise.
Or that chat GPT
Dash.
Yeah, M dash.
M dash.
M dash? Yeah.
There was no M dashing in my
No, this was clearly
notes.
chat GPT could never.
From dash. From ash.
From M dash.
From M dash.
We rise.
From M dash, we rise of the dragon.
We revise that.
Yes.
Can you make it a little more professional sounding?
Yeah.
It's so funny that we're both from Driftmere, but like
I know.
The blue star girl. Never seen her.
It makes sense. As you get
Yeah.
into the backstory, it'll make sense.
yeah.
I mean, I asked David where, like, this is my character, where should I be from? And he said Driftmere.
Yeah.
So
I think yours makes sense too, Paris. So I think it definitely works out. Y'all are all kind of like from not that Woolsey's not from, we'll get into it, but like you're all from one side of Kaldyr.
Pretty
Yeah, yeah.
close. Pretty
Interesting.
close, yeah.
I
So
did
cool.
like, there are 2 different middle schools reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of forgetting how you outro Blunder Dungeon.
There's no plan.
Yeah, so that was episode 1. I hope you enjoyed. Keep an eye out for episode 2 at some point. Again, like probably
Who
gonna
knows?
weave these in once a month-ish type thing. But yeah, I'm excited. I have many ideas, capital I.
Ooh.
Theories?
Hmm.
I feel like there were a lot of like little like fun things for us for like a session 1
Yeah.
to like think about and get.
I will say that when I texted Cameron because he was like, if you want to hop on like a last minute DM like tips call, I was like, oh, I got this. I think it'll play pretty linearly. And then like the prologue that I thought would take all of 5 minutes, like y'all had actual conversations.
Yeah.
And you asked people's names who I didn't name.
Sorry.
I was like,
So
this
classic.
is not gonna go as well as I thought, but now it worked out.
But the pacing was really good. Like I
Yeah.
felt like
Yeah, we'd got a lot done.
I was scared there for a sec. Did we have to make it all the way through one round of initiative before they showed up?
That one was gonna be kind of at my discretion based on how the battle was going and pacing wise. The plan also wasn't for y'all to know that the rest of the heroes, like but you kept pressing.
Yeah. He knew the plan.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that he would just like let y'all in on it at some point.
Yeah.
And so then once that kind of like was stated, I think the dramatic effect of having wave after wave didn't make as much sense. So I just had
Yeah.
it happen quicker than I planned. That's why I had so many soldiers off on the side on that one. I was getting mixed up on which ones it was.
Well, very great job. First
Thank
time
you.
DMing.
Yeah, so
I
fun.
was immersed.
Was that everything you had planned for us to do in this session?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But yeah, I wanted to take it easy on myself and not give y'all too many options. If y'all had not gone to the keep, I would have been like, the gates are shutting. Like they've shut the gates, they've secured the town.
Sure.
Like I would have given you no
Yeah.
options on where to go.
I think a railroad on session 1 is fine.
Very
Yeah.
For
Makes
sure.
a
It was
lot
a
of sense.
great way to get us together on the same side, like
fair. Yeah.
cleanly without being like like Theo said, I'm gonna leave you after this. Like you guys are too much.
It's like, oh, let's hope that.
Yeah.
And I realized the reason I didn't want y'all introing at the start is because when like you got called up and Valtor was asking for your names, I meant for that to be like the Skyrim create a character scene and have y'all describe it then, and I just totally forgot.
It's funny.
Worked well.
But Woolsey, did you see what I meant when I said it would be like the opening scene of Skyrim?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To a T. I was waiting for the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
That's session 1. Keep an eye out for session 2. Probably next week, I think, is Roleplay Royale. Oh, wait, no, this is in next week right now. It'll probably be a Blunder Dungeon next week.
Yeah, who
Probably
knows?
a blunder dungeon.
But yeah, thank you for joining. Leave tips in the comments. Let me know. Don't take it easy, TikTok. Let me know. Let me
Caleb,
know. Caleb, I'll be
Caleb.
looking for you. I took a little bit of notes, like I'm learning things.
go.
I'm learning things. Thank you for joining.
That's what it's all about.
Ciao.
Ciao, everybody.
So long.
From ash we rise.
From
Mash, we